Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and this week we are going to be looking at what I've purchased over the month of July. Let's have a look. Welcome back everyone. That's right, I'm doing 2 weeks in a row. How good is that? I think it's pretty much unheard of on the Ian Bailey Magic YouTube channel. Now, because my videos are so sporadic, it's worth subscribing, pressing the subscribe button down below, and then you will be notified when I actually do get round to releasing a video. I'm going to keep this very concise, so I want to try and preserve your time. But this week I am going to be looking at everything that I've purchased in terms of the magic industry this month, and I'm going to start calling it Don't Tell the Wife. Don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife. That's right. So whenever you see a video each month called Don't Tell the Wife, don't tell the wife, you'll know what it is. But hopefully she won't. So let's have a look at what I have purchased this month. So some of these are digital products. I'm going to be using the laptop and screenshotting that so you can see exactly what I've purchased there. But I want to kind of give you a quick run through of the things that I have purchased. So let's have a look at, let's go for the Razer wallet to begin with. The Razer wallet, this isn't the standard Razer wallet that Dee Christopher released back in, I don't know how many years ago that was. This is the Razer card to wallet. It's probably been out for just over a year now. Josh Birch at Penguin Magic has released this, and this is the box that it comes in. But what you get is this beautiful wallet. Now I've got a few elastic bands over top here and some money in the back there, but essentially this is a card to wallet, which is a no palm card to wallet, if that's of interest to you. So a playing card can easily be taken out of the zipped compartment. However, the reason why I purchased this is because of the slim, profile, but also saying slightly different. So you will be more than aware of my Jameson wallet, which I constantly am pitching in my videos. But it's a card to wallet that I'm incredibly proud of, but also has a really, really good full business card peak. Now, the reason why I am kind of steering towards this in a specific situation is because in my gigs, I have started using my kind of variation of flash cash, which is using these. So using £10 notes and like I've mentioned on my last video, everything that I carry on my, to a gig summer edition, I use Rod Hogg's and Gary Jones's transposition between receipts and money. So you put both of these in their pocket, you take out the receipts, and then it turns into money, and now in their pocket are the receipts. Really, really good, strong transpo. Now, I'm using £10 notes because the size of the £10 note is quite, it's a lot smaller than the £20 note. But I needed a wallet where I could actually store these in. And the Jameson wallet, great for playing cards, business cards, etc., but will not store the kind of width of the £10 notes. I really like the fact that it's got the 3 card holder. So I've got my blank cards here for peaks and also for wipeout, my transposition trick with the 2 cards. I've got 1 card Monty in here as well. But yeah, it's really nice that I can store money here and also in the zip compartment as well. So I've been playing around with this and I really like it. I think it's really good. Now, I do not do card effects really now in my gigs. So I'm mainly using this for when I pickpocket. I use Fake Pocket by Greg Wilson, a great routine, stealing a wallet and money, etc. Well, cards inside the wallet. And then I want to then reveal their card in an impossible way. And so I am actually palming their ID card or their credit card and then pulling it out of this wallet. Okay, so I am actually using it as a palmed card to wallet. I don't use it for playing cards, but this has actually resolved quite a few things. In my last video, you would have seen I mentioned Harry Robson's Worker's Dream wallet. Obviously, with this, you don't get the out to lunch principle built in, but for the slim profile that it is, it does a lot, and I am very, very impressed with that wallet. The quality of it is lovely. The leather is good quality, and yeah, I really, really recommend checking out the Razor card to wallet. I purchased this from Monster Magic in the UK. Exceptional service as always from Alex, and yes, that is the first purchase of this month. I might put if I can feel brave enough, I'll put the prices on the screen as we go along, but that was the first thing I bought this month. The next thing I purchased was Formation. Formation was an Elliot Gerard, I think, idea. This came out, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago, and as soon as I saw it on Penguin, I had to message Lloyd Barnes, and I was saying, look, I remember you pitching this on Facebook years ago. Who was the original creator? And he said, oh, it was Elliot. He released this, and I bought it back in the day, and I wasn't sure really what to think of it. I think there was so much raving about this effect, and then I was thinking, well, you just palming away. It's like, is it good? You know, is it good? You know, it's excellent, isn't it? That's my Alan Partridge impression. Anyway, so yeah, I bought it, and I wasn't really getting along with it. And in fact, this is the original look. I cut it down. This was before I had the AirPod Pros, and I cut it down. I don't know what I was thinking. Can you relate to this? Can you relate to impulsive, random decisions that you instantly regret? I think cutting this down was one of them. But that was to kind of make it a bit more of a manageable size to deal with. And then obviously Penguin released it again, and it just kind of made me fall in love with it again and think, okay, well, maybe I can work with this. And obviously you would know that I have my effect reverb, which is this great trick where I make the AirPods disappear and then it finally appears back in my ear, etc. And then also I've got case dismissed, where the AirPod case becomes a solid lump of plastic, very similar to Stone Purse by Nate Cranzo. And so this was obviously like a great introduction into those two routines. So I can now start with this, pulling this out of my wallet, turning it from a flat 2D AirPod case into a 3D AirPod case, do reverb, then finish with case dismissed. It's a powerhouse of a routine, I have to say. It is very, very good. And so because that is part of this bigger effect, I think I'm more likely to really kind of give this a go now and really go to town with it. The issue is that I use my MagSite wallet, which only stores like 4 cards, and now this is card number 5, so I'm like, oh, I don't know. But we'll see how we get on with it. I think it's only like $14.99. Once again, purchased from Monster Magic. Really, really interesting take on this kind of flat effect, if that really exists already as a premise. But there you go. So that was Formation by Penguin Magic. Let's have a look at the next thing. These are more kind of weird kind of refills. So you may have remembered that I did a review of Bankable, and I did it like on release day, because that's the kind of, you know, I give you the information straight away on my channel. I really do. I at least tried to. Bankable is just a fantastic banknight routine. It uses 4 envelopes. They're window envelopes, so you don't have to open them to see what the other prizes were. You can turn around and bang, you can see exactly what they could have won. It's really funny. It's fast paced. It's not like probably the most powerful kind of banknight, but it's the most practical and most punchiest and greatest kind of introduction, and the most workable table hopping and stuff like that. So it's a really good routine, and I think a lot of people were kind of wanting different inserts without saying too much. You know, you pull out these, and it says you win a high five or something like that. Obviously, if you want to then, you know, do other routines where you don't win a high five, you win a different prize, you would then have to rub off that writing and put something else on. So if you're doing a gig and you want different routines throughout the day, then now you can just buy what they call Blankable, which are the the index cards that you can put into the envelope. So they're just the right size to go in. They're kind of like a dry wipe texture, so you can either use a dry wipe marker or use a Sharpie marker, and then if you know the secret, you can get a dry wipe marker and run over the Sharpie marker with it, and then it will wipe off the Sharpie marker. So I was able to purchase just a couple of those inserts, which means I've got a bit more freedom for performances when I'm table hopping at gigs. So that is Blankable. You can get that direct from Trick Trick Boom, and very cheap, very reasonable, and really recommend Bankable if you haven't seen it. Have a look at my review video. You'll notice the review video will either be in the description or it might pop up if I've worked out how to use YouTube. We'll see. Let's have a look at a couple more. Talking about wallets, let's look at this. This was the Shogun Wallet. This is a JOL purchase. It's from PropDog. I visited PropDog's website. I don't know if you've been there in a while, but he's still going. He's still doing his exclusive PropDog products. Haven't seen anything particularly new from Dave Bonsall in a while, but he's still kind of churning out those kind of the big hits, you know, the Ring Flight Revolution, etc. And obviously he owns the JOL range, and I have this lovely Shogun Wallet. And if you're not familiar with the Shogun Wallet, it is essentially a double-ended wallet. So I owned the Pickpocket Passport wallet, which is fun to say, isn't it? I still own that, and I was thinking of using that in my Pickpocket show, which I'm currently kind of writing and trying to kind of get everything together. And I do like that wallet, and it's probably better visually, the fact that you can open up and show everyone exactly what's missing. And I might still prefer that, I don't know. But I think for kind of parlour shows and everyday, kind of more everyday performances, this is actually probably slightly better. It's more relatable. What I wanted to do is essentially do the transposition with the notes and the paper, you know, kind of a transpo effect. But I wanted to do it with the notes being open, right? So I'm actually going to use paper to money for this transposition effect, and I want to essentially show them that I've got £100 in this wallet, right? So I take out the £100, I put it away. They put the wallet in their back pocket. I then bring out some sheets of paper. I bump into them like they do in the movies, and now I've got £100. And then when they then open up the wallet again, right? So they open up the wallet, they open it up from the other end, and now they're just sheets of paper, right? So transposition has occurred. So I think the Shogun Wallet's quite good for that. And like I say, the only shame is you have to open it up to pull it out for then everyone else to see, whilst with the Pickpocket Passport wallet, you can open it out and straight away everyone can see because they're staring straight at the notes. So whether it's going to be as good as that, as visually kind of punchy, I'm not sure. But I think for kind of parlour shows around people's homes and that kind of thing, this is probably a bit more relatable and a bit more everyday, because I don't actually use the passport in that wallet. I just do the money and the credit card, part of the routine. Pickpocket Passport wallet, very difficult to get hold of these days. I don't think he's making them. They're very hard to get hold of. So I'm glad I managed to secure myself one of them all those years ago. But the Shogun wallet might be a good alternative. I know there are other Himba wallet, Gentleman Jack wallet, I think at Alakazam. I'm not sure if they're still making that. That could be useful for that, but I think a Shogun wallet is probably quite a good way to go. So if you're into your pickpocketing, into your transposition type effects, then I'd highly recommend that. Speaking of wallets and paper to money, this was something I bought off Amazon, and this is actually a wallet that is really good for paper to money. So it's just a really, really nice kind of leather effect wallet, and yeah, one popper. Obviously the notes are flat because with paper to money you can't fold those notes, and so now it means that I've got my my notes here, I can then take one of these notes like this and then just drop it down like that, and now I've got £100 like so. And yeah, what's really nice is that they actually fit perfectly in this wallet. And guess how much it was? About £3.50. Not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. So yeah, we've got that. That's a really nice way of storing your paper to money. We're then talking about refills again, because I also, in another video, I've been churning these videos out. In another video, I did a comparison video between Saucy by Ben Williams and Get Saucy by Mark Bennett. And I looked at what those two different kind of source-related effects were, the positives, negatives of each one, so you can view that video as well if you would like. But the one critique I had about Mark Bennett's routine was that he didn't give you more kind of refills of just the standard ketchup packets. So we did a petition, didn't we, us as viewers of the channel, and we said to Mark, we said, please, didn't we? And he said, all right then. And that's where we are now. So so now you can buy, in that wonderful discussion, you can now buy 50 of the ketchup refills. I think they're about £20. And yeah, it means that now what you can do is do your standard transposition routine between the mustard and the ketchup in their hands, etc., etc. Then switch in as you do it in your pocket. You go, oh, I'm going to put this one in my pocket this time. And then as you do that, you switch in for this ketchup that has a playing card in there, or something else. Could be sugar, whatever you want. And now you can then lead into a final ending, a final kicker ending, without having to introduce the hot rod sauce effect. It's good, it's just not for me. I prefer to end up with the card to impossible location type of thing. So yeah, really pleased that Mark has done that. It's cost him a fair amount to make these. I didn't realise how much it costs. I feel a bit bad for suggesting it now, but I think it actually will make the effect a bit more sellable and a bit more as a complete package. So really thankful for Mark for making those. I've been the first customer to support him in buying them, so I really recommend you get Saucy. I recommend you get Saucy, Ben Williams one, and I also recommend you get Saucy, Mark Bennett's one, and then pick up yourself some refills. Now, the biggest purchase of this month, it's a bit scary. This is, and I don't know if anyone has seen this because not many people are talking about this. Mindsight by Hypothesis Magic. This is a big purchase at about $300 and something, is it? $349. What was I thinking? I don't tell the wife. I don't know. It's good. I am pleased I've got it, but I need to have a little play around with this first. This is the reason why I'm actually making these videos called Don't Tell the Wife. Don't Tell the Wife is I'm just talking about like an initial look of what I purchased and sharing the reasons why I purchased and what I like about it, which might help you with your purchase. These aren't like detailed reviews. Like I haven't gone out and performed some of these effects. I've performed most of them, but I haven't performed all of them just yet. This being one of them. So what is Mindsight by Derek Chan, Hypothesis Magic? It is this. Let me open this up and you're going to see inside. You get a close-up mat and also a receiver. Now I don't want to talk too much about method here because I'm not sure how much that they're willing to share, but this is a lovely good quality close-up mat. It comes in a nice case here, and this will open a world of opportunities for you. It really will. With this, basically you can have 5 items, right? It could be any kind of 5 items down here like this, if I can fit them on. Maybe not. Maybe I should go for this, something a bit smaller. Let's go with 4 for now. All right, I've got 4 items. These could be wafer thin. These could be receipts, right? This isn't like a scale where it's weighing stuff. This could be any item, and you put it down, and you turn your back, and you say to someone, okay, right, I want you to pick one of those items up, and they pick one of them up, and you say, right, I can put that in your right hand trouser pocket, your front right hand trouser pocket, and they do it, right? They pick up another item, and you say, well, put it in your back pocket, your back left pocket, put this in your back right pocket, and put that in the remainder pocket, right? So they do that. Your back is turned, and you're able to tell them exactly what items they put in what pocket. It allows you to do what Andy Nyman's Dead Zone, which I own, from his lecture, etc. But I also then brought the Pro Mystic thing. I can't remember the name of it, but a Pro Mystic item that allowed you to put items into other items to sense movement and this kind of stuff. I owned that years ago and never really kind of used it. I don't know why. And then this came out, and I thought, okay, right, let's give this another go. And I think there's a lot of value in this product. So yeah, really nice close-up mat. Like I say, the things can be wafer thin. You're allowed up to 5 items, okay? So if they're small items, they'll fit on there nicely, but you could do 1, 2, 3. They have to be positioned kind of in specific places on the mat for it to work. But you can do this, this routine I've just talked about, like the Dead Zone routine thing, which is great for me with my pickpocketing as well. This is one of the reasons why I wanted it, was that I could kind of get people to put certain items in their pockets, and then they could walk towards me, and I would know exactly by the way that they walked what items they had in which pocket, and then have that as a routine. But also, if you do any kind of the color match, there you go, you can actually do that. So you could have pens, 5 pens down here, and the pens don't have to be gimmicked. Like, you could use crayons, you could use normal biros, whatever you want, it would work with that. It would work with playing cards or whatever, you have a randomly shuffled pack, you put 5 playing cards down from the top of the pack after it's been shuffled, and then people pick cards and you know exactly what they're doing. It could be, drawings, it could be anything. So if you are after that kind of colour match routine and putting certain things in certain pockets, etc., this is a very, very good version of that. I think there are certain drawbacks to it, which, it may not work in every single performance condition, without talking too much about how it works. But it's very interesting because it's not a scale. Like I said, it's not weight, it's not movement. The kind of the way it works is very unusual, and not what I would have guessed, actually. So really recommend that. I say recommend it, from an initial look, I recommend it. You will have to take a close-up pad to your performance, but for me, it is absolutely fine. Like, I'm only going to be doing this in stand-up shows, and so I will use this either with my PackSmart table that I own from Bill Abbott. That would work really well with that, but I also do have another table on my website which actually would work with this, and I've got a friend who uses it for his TCC organizer kind of thing with the close-up pad on top, and it's actually my table called Portable, which I haven't talked about. I've talked about Portaboard. Actually, I don't think I've even talked about that on the YouTube channel. Portaboard is a folding whiteboard, right? So you can have an A4 whiteboard, an A3 whiteboard that folds down to A4, or an A2 whiteboard that folds into 2 down to A3. So it basically means that you can travel on cruise ships, you can travel in a car, you can travel wherever, with a smaller footprint that then ends up being a big whiteboard, so that it can be seen by the back of the room. Because typically when we're doing that, when we're writing stuff down, we've either got to choose whether we want it to be portable and easy to carry, which means that the audience size has to be smaller, or we go with a big audience, but then we then have to carry a massive case because we've got this massive whiteboard. Everything fits small apart from the thing that we write on, which is a real shame. So Portaboard is a great accessory that I've made. Very limited stock now. I think I've only got like 3 left of both sizes, and then I'm going to have to then make another version that will come out soon. But also, What I was talking about is portable, which is a small 150 diameter tabletop. Perfect for chop cut, but it's got a slight lip on it as well, so the ball's not going to roll off. It can be angled, so if you're displaying a envelope prediction or something like that, or a playing card, you can angle it towards the audience. And it's on a small tripod that fits on a table. So if you're table hopping, you don't have to move plates out of the way. You can literally just stick it in between people's cutlery and stuff like that. Perform chop cut at the table, and now people can actually see what you're doing, which is brilliant. But not only that, it then extends. So it extends all the way out so that it can be up to like this on me when I'm stood up. So it's actually a really good performance table for parlor shows and stage as well. Perfect for predictions. If you've got like a destination box or something, that can be on there. Chop cut will be on there. Any kind of light duty effects, it's brilliant for. So this would actually fit really well on top of portable, which means that you're still just carrying something that kind of size. You're not having to carry like a big tabletop. It uses like a selfie stick tripod style thing, but a very good quality one, a stiff one, so it's not going to like collapse as soon as you put any weight on it. But yeah, so I will probably use that when I'm doing my parlor shows. But it's a really, really good tabletop. A good close-up mat, and I think the amount of routines you can do with Mindsight is really good. One more thing I forgot to tell you. This is the digital product that I forgot to tell you about. Jack Rhodes did a show, didn't he? Have you seen Jack Rhodes' not Netflix special, his YouTube special that he's done? An amazing show, incredible show, and I'm amazed at how well he's done. That makes it sound bad for him. I'm not amazed, but I'm amazed at the show, and I'm amazed at how well choreographed everything is. He has got his show down really, really well. So I have purchased his book. I read that a few months ago, and now off the back of his terrific, successful YouTube launch, he's actually got his own masterclass that he's releasing on his website. So this is called Level Up, Close Up and Beyond. And it's a magic masterclass. It says, close up and beyond. If you pre-order this, you can get it for £40 rather than £50. £50 is still a massive bargain. I'm amazed that he's charging it so little. He could be doubling that price easily. And it's just helping you to think big about choosing material that works on stage, how to make effects feel huge. So that's kind of module 1. You'll know how great Jack is in terms of the way he thinks about things. He used to be a nuclear engineer. The whole of his year was basically building up to like 1 or 2 massive projects. So he would have to have a list of like 500 things they would have to check as a team before they then do that big event job. I don't want to get too technical. I could if I wanted to, but I don't fancy it. Don't feel like it right now. But yeah, so his prep is impeccable, and his list for everything that he's got to check for his show is long, and he makes sure that nothing can go wrong as far as humanly possible. So yeah, his book is really, really good. I really recommend that. But if you already own the book, this is actually a really good resource as well. So that is like a pre-order at the moment. I think he's going to be releasing this probably sometime in August. Expected release date is end of August. So if you buy it before the end of August, you'll get it for £40. If not, it'll go up to £50. Like I said, it should be double that. But anyway, that is everything. I have rambled again without meaning to, but hopefully there's something here that's tickled your fancy, and I will see you next week, hopefully. See you later. Bye-bye.
Don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife.